Hello, it's Oren Prunken, and today I want to talk to you about the predicted recession that's coming up. But I need to rewind the clock several years, 12 years ago. So I graduated from Flinders University with a law degree, both a Bachelor of Law and Legal Practice, and I am admitted as a barrister and solicitor for the Supreme Court in South Australia. So as part of that and part of my Flinders degree, I had to go and do a 6-week required internship with a practicing lawyer to be ticked off with all of the required practical components to be admitted to the Supreme Court. And I was allocated, a barrister, and because he was self-employed, he, at the end of the 6 weeks, was not able to employ me. However, he worked with a solicitor that had a smallish law firm with a few employees, and at the end of that internship, that solicitor didn't offer me a legal role, but did offer me a marketing and sales role. Now, when I graduated, so December 2007, that was when the global financial crisis hit, the last recession that we've seen. And there was no jobs going around at all, let alone law jobs. There's never any law jobs going around. And as soon as I graduated from uni, I was going into a job market that had zero job prospects because of the way the economy was going. Now, he did offer me a marketing and sales role. It was only commission-based, so there was no risk to him financially. And look, I didn't want to go in and practice as a lawyer, so it was probably pretty good. But also, I didn't really want to work in the industry, so I turned that role down. Now, that solicitor was a really smart business person, and the reason being, when a recession hits, what most businesses do is they cut back on costs. Now, they cut back usually on their marketing and sales costs first. And that is, one of the most stupid things I've ever heard, because it's the lifeblood to your business. Without any prospects, and more importantly, without any customers, you have no revenue coming in. No revenue means you go bankrupt. And a lot of businesses at that time were cutting back on their marketing and sales budgets, not just in terms of advertising costs, but also in terms of the resources that were involved in actually going and delivering that. So, the human resources, whether they were outsourcing it to someone external, someone internal, or they were doing it themselves, and, upskilling by getting better at marketing and sales. They were just cutting all of that back, and therefore they were cutting the oxygen to the brain of their business, and they were going out of business because of it. Now, we're coming into a recession now, or a predicted recession. It hasn't actually hit, but there's a lot of talk currently about Australia, but also the world going into recession. Now, this should be a warning from 12 years ago, from what I saw, that a lot of those businesses were cutting back on the vital components. And not just in recessions should you not be doing that. You should not be doing that at any point in time. Marketing and sales is the most important thing in your business. Not delivering the product, not creating the product. That just delivers on the product, the promise that those two have created. Now, I've talked about this previously in another episode on this podcast about how much time and effort you should be spending on your marketing and sales, but then all the other components that are in your business around product development and human resources and the administration of that as well. So I really want you to think about this time in the economy and what that is doing, and some of the predictions that are happening and how that might relate to what you're doing. Now, I don't think you should wait until a recession hits to be contemplating what you should be doing with your marketing and sales and how much time and effort and money you should be putting into it, but I think you should be thinking about it really critically now. And if a recession doesn't hit, fingers crossed, that you should still be maintaining those sorts of ratios and effort and time and money into your marketing and sales, because it is the lifeblood to everything that you do within your business, regardless if it is a recession or not. But don't think that if a recession hits, that it's your excuse to cut back on costs in the most vital areas. Yes, costs in all of the slack, that doesn't matter. And yes, I am arguing your product delivery does not need the amount of effort and money that you think it needs to go in. Yes, it needs to deliver on the promise. Don't get me wrong. 100% if you're making promises, you need to deliver and over deliver on that, but it doesn't take as much as you think it does. All of your effort should be on the front end to keep you in business, to be therefore able to go about delivering those promises. Because if you're not in business, you can't actually go out and serve people and change the world with your products, services and solutions. So really want you to let me know what kind of stuff you're doing, and if you have been slack on that front in terms of how you've been allocating resources to those two important things. And until we talk next time, hope you have a fantastic day. I am off to the gym, and until we talk then, goodbye.
Thanks for listening, and if you like what was on here and want more, please go to orenprunken.com.